Hey, folks, welcome to Market Intraday Analysis by InTheMoneyStocks.com, your leaders in pure technical analysis, avoiding all that Wall Street hype. This video for Friday, September 23rd, 2011 is sponsored by Realtik. Alright, let's get right into the mix. Markets are floating neutral to positive today after a basic 3-day debacle, and I just want to zoom out and show you guys this type of move here. The markets topped out last Tuesday. Clearly, you can see that right here. And again, we actually shorted the markets right up in this vicinity because it was a turn date, a master cycle date, and also because of the bear flag on the daily chart and the formation of some other keys. Ultimately, the markets literally dumped 900 points on the Dow Jones Industrial Average. From this pivot high all the way down, that's a 900-point drop on the Dow. You're looking at the SPY, which now is factoring in the S&P 500. It's basically a tracking ETF there, but nonetheless, a tremendous fall. Markets are getting a small bounce today, but nothing to write home about whatsoever, and that, again, could be setting up for more downside next week. All right, volume is also dying out, which makes it very tough to see any selling come in the markets when volume gets this light. You can see right here how light the volume is getting as we are into the lunch hour after 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Bottom line, Europe is a mess. That is all there is to it right now. U.S. is not doing much better, although a little bit better. The banks in Europe are seeing some major issues out there. There's talk that there literally needs to be hundreds of billions of dollars in bailout funds or TARP funds for the banks in Europe to overcome Greece, Italy, Ireland, and the rest of these out there. All right, so I mean, it's just a complete mess. There's panic out there, but again, we're seeing today a little bit of a mix of short covering, a little bit of a mix of, amateur buying up and thinking things are cheap at this point, and that's, again, what's keeping this market slightly higher. Now, we have some major moves out there as well. The dollar is also helping the markets here. UUP, which is the ETF for the dollar, that is lower on the day, and you can see how it is a little bit lower from where it closed. This is where the dollar closed yesterday, and the dollar's had an unbelievable run up as the euro has just collapsed, but today the dollar is pulling back, and that is keeping things a little bit more on the strong side in the markets. Remember, dollar up, markets down, dollar down, markets up. And again, you can see that very, very clearly on today's charts when we look at the dollar and see that it is down. The big falls today, what's kind of in the news today, pointing to action. The GLD. GLD is getting crushed today, down almost $7. This is the GLD is ultimately the gold ETF. Tracking ETF. And again, if we go to the daily chart, look at this collapse here. I love how it's a 3-bar surge here. I actually have a decent little bit of a level right underneath 60 here, which I do think is going to be a nice little area of support. So again, once you get to about 59 bucks, 159 I should say, 159, that's going to be a very, very significant level on the GLD. And again, maybe a gap down on Monday gets us there. I do think you get a bounce off of that level once that hits. All right, so just continue to watch that. SLV is another major collapse play, and take a look at this, folks. And again, we actually had this nailed perfectly. I want to show you this. This is a trend line I had for our premium members inside the research center, inside the chat room. All right, and again, you can take a 7-day free trial to either or both of those services here. The money that was made this week for members was unparalleled. We gave the exact pivot top to short the markets. They shorted things from everything from SDS, which was a buy on the short ETF of 2 times, to Deere, to Caterpillar, to 3M. I know many traders out there shorted many other things as well. The collapses that we saw over the last 3 days made people's years, not just weeks or months. That's the money that was made. In fact, I'm going to go out and buy myself a present this weekend just on my profits alone. I'll be posting that on the social network of the Research Center in the chat room. And again, that's a Trader's Life 24/7. Traders come to discuss, post charts, talk about their lives in and outside of the world of trading. And again, you can converse with them, talk to them, learn the methodology. All that stuff's part of the Research Center and Intraday Stock Chat membership here at InTheMoneyStocks.com. But bottom line is this, folks. See this line connecting through the lows? This is a line I had many, many weeks ago, and I was basically saying when this breaks, this is the breakdown. And ultimately you broke, then consolidated here, and then look at the collapse on the SLV. This is silver. You might wonder where you're going to go, and I will tell you if you join the Research Center free trial. I already posted today the level that I will be buying the SLV at if it hits. And again, that could be as early as Monday, depending on the level, if it gets hit then. And again, if you want that level, you must go join the Research Center. Take the free trial, no obligation, very, very simple. All right, let's go back to the SPY on an intraday basis here, punch that up. And again, you can see the markets are kind of just in a sideways channel here. It'd be interesting to see how things end. Do people take a little bit off the table and sell a little bit into the Friday close, worried about Monday's market in Europe? or do they continue to kind of cover some shorts here, thinking that there might be some sort of bailout announcement coming over the weekend for the overall markets? And again, it's all up in the air at this point. There's no direct correspondence. I talked to the Research Center and chat members today and yesterday saying that, listen, very clearly, you're just basically looking either for a pivot low in the markets to be put in which case you buy, which you haven't done yet, or you're looking for a sharp bounce, in which case you short the markets again. And right now you're hanging in a limbo. If we go to the daily chart here, there has not been a pivot low hit yet. And again, we nailed this down move beautifully and made a ton of money, but as of yesterday, I moved out of my shorts. And by the way, just for those of you that might be interested, guess where I sold my SDS, which is 2 times short the S&P 500? Right here. How did I know? Well, you have a key trend line there. It was a bottoming tail. Coming into the end of the day, I figured some short covering was going to come in. It worked out perfectly. And again, my exit was here on my short, essentially. And where was my entry? Right here on my short entry. So entry up here on the short, covered here. Couldn't do it more perfectly, guys. Literally to a T, the pivot points, amazing. All right. Now, again, just a matter of watching this market. When we go back to the daily chart of the SPY, which again mirrors the S&P 500, you can see that you are bouncing. You also hit this bluish line right here, which is the closing pivot lows. You opened lower today, but have moved up beautifully. And again, it's not a big gain on the markets. You're only up slightly. In fact, just to go over the indexes here, the Dow is up about 20 points, Nasdaq's up about 23, S&P's up about 7. So it's about 0.5% to 1% on the Nasdaq S&P. Dow is barely positive, though. And again, be interesting to see because you should have a little bit of resistance right up here. You can see yesterday's pivot high and this little pivot low. That's for short-term resistance. If you get through that, you should actually go test this gap fill here, although I don't necessarily expect that to happen. I'd be more in the camp of thinking that we have another wave down in selling so far. But again, I'll analyze that this weekend. I'm going to discuss it in a live, no-hype live broadcast on Sunday night. Again, if you're a member of the Research Center, you're getting live broadcasts where you view my charts live and you get to ask questions. We're going to have every night of the week. There's a video, a 30-minute video or so that it's posted with hardcore analysis. There's daily market reports, swing trade alerts go out, hot charts and alerts, technical tactic, educational videos with methodology. And again, we teach you our proprietary stuff here. All right, we have hedge funds here that, again, have us in private time. We tell them the same things, and I tell the same exact things to our traders here and our investors here at InTheMoneyStocks.com, those who are members. All right, there's nothing held back. As far as I'm concerned, you want our stuff, come get it. It's here for the taking. It's just a matter of stepping up and learning it. Okay, let's go over the USO here. The USO down a little bit today. The USO was a great call, folks. I gave this out earlier this week as a bearish call, and again, a lot of money could have been made here. The key analysis, I'm just going to erase these lines and show you very simply, was just this. Take this trend line and extend it up. See how this line hits right here, 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 and here? Clearly, that's a major trend line. When this trend line breaks, that's your short. It broke. I said give it a day or so and let it bounce up so you get a better entry. It bounces up the next day and the next day and then starts to fall. And anywhere up here was your shorting level. I gave it in the nightly videos inside the Research Center and to the chat room. Beautiful gap down and then bear flag position, and look at the fall on that. So again, it was very, very easy to take these type of shorts. The money was there to be had this week in the markets. We nailed it. Members had the best weeks of their lives this week, all right, in money making. And again, we're going to do it again next week. And again, frankly, guys, I just want to make this clear. I couldn't care less if the markets go up or down. My partners couldn't care less if the market goes up or down. We trade all sides of the market. If the market's going up, we're going to be on the long side. Market's going down, we'll be on the short side. We're going to make money either way, and that's the beauty of it. A good swing trader makes over 100% a year. Now, again, it takes a little time to get there, but you'll get there. And, you tell that to any hedge fund or mutual fund out there. You try to make that type of gain in any market, no less. As long as you know the cycle dates, as long as you know the confirmation signal, as long as you know the technical levels that we look for and support and resistance levels, you're a million steps ahead of institutions like Goldman, in my opinion, or hedge funds. All right, enough said, guys. Again, there'll be some good trading opportunities coming Monday. I'm going to watch to see how this market ends. But again, let's make some more money next week. It's there for the taking. I'm going to be doing it. Talk to you soon.